Hi folks, so after we did our boating video, we thought we'd have a special edition of
Boat Chat Tuesday!
A little bit of a twist on things. We genuinely got asked an awful lot of questions all about it, and so we thought we would just pick up where we left off, kind of. We're next to a canal anyway.
Yes.
Counts, doesn't it?
Yes, I think the cows.
Cows, there are cows
Yeah.
as well. Cows and canals.
Cows and canals.
Which is pretty much what we saw as well.
Yeah.
So, first question that we got asked, and this is obviously going to go in no particular order, but it actually was, what is the boat hire cost for the boat that you had? So I'm going to go straight into that one. The boat hire cost was roughly £2,400. But we've looked into it a little bit more so we can give you a bit more of a sort of generalised idea. Not only are there different boat hire companies out there, but obviously there's different boats and stuff we saw from different marines and stuff like that, didn't
Yep. And what David was saying to us was that our boat was a really new boat.
we? Yeah. So top of the line, could sleep 6, yada yada yada.
Yes.
So if you work it out that way, our boat would be £400 a person.
Yes.
I think that was their idea.
Yep.
So if we're going a per person cost wise, from looking into things, it looks like you can get from as little as £100 a person, so that would make it roughly about £800 for a week, all the way to £2,400 for a week.
Yep. Bearing in mind you get absolutely everything you need on this boat. There was even a welcome pack, there was washing up liquid, there was toilet roll, there was all of that kind of stuff in there.
2 TVs, some DVDs, a stereo to listen to music.
Yeah, it literally had everything you needed, and of course all of the things like rain gear and life jackets and things like that. So it literally had everything. All you really needed to do is put food and drink in there. So.
And I would put a quantity of that amount of money into the training and how we felt when we left the marina.
Yeah, very true.
Given that we'd never done anything like that before, so
yeah.
I mean, how much is it worth to feel safe?
Yeah, and that's it. And then we didn't feel rushed through it at all. We were taken through step by step, and every one of us was asked along the way whether we were happy with everything, and it was really comprehensive. I was very, very impressed with it, even taking us out to turn round and come back again before they turned around and said, off you pop, now don't crash it please.
So the rest of the questions are based on the questions we were asked to that, which were more or less about, would we swap our van for a boat, or would we live on a boat and maybe have the van as a second home? So Mandy.
I think no. And that's no offence to the boat, because we're already planning on having another holiday in one because it was really good. We just choose a different area to go.
I want to go
look.
over the Llangollen Chirk Canal.
Maybe that one. We'll see.
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, and that's no offence to boats. I just think it might be a little bit too restrictive for me. But I suppose that and a van wouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, some people have done that, haven't they?
Yeah,
so
like
gone
David.
down that way.
Yeah.
David does that as well. There's a little bit from David as well at the end of this video, where he's going to talk about his experience of living aboard a boat and how much he thought about it and what his costs are. So, as we go into it, we've looked at the costs to answer your questions, which are all about living aboard a boat if we would do it. Therefore, let's go into the first biggest cost probably, which was marinas.
Yes.
Now, as I was at the back going, Mandy was up front looking into marina costs for every nice marina we went past.
Oh, there was some that were literally just on where there was a wide point of the canal, and then there were just moorings, but perpendicular to the canal rather than alongside. And we was looking at, for something like that, it was something like, was it £380 a month or something else?
Well, there were
something like
a
that.
few less than that. I think the cheapest you found was about £200 a month.
Yeah.
But then it goes all the way up to £350 to £400 a month for the big posh ones that look like they've been open for like a couple of years, and they had security and you can have showers there, do your laundry and all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, the cows are paddling. I'm like, what's that noise?
Cows are having a bit of a paddle.
Oh, it's obviously a bit too hot for them, isn't it?
It was a warm day.
Yeah.
So that's based around the Midlands area where we were and the places we went past.
Yeah.
Because those were easy just to look at it and find out how much it was.
Yeah, because he had the name alongside, so it was an easy Google at this point.
But shockingly, I had a lot, say like if you wanted to dock on the Thames near London, a monthly fee there might be £1,200.
Yeah. But the good thing we found about some like ABC for instance, or their marina group that they've got, which are up and down the country. If you moor your boat in one of theirs, you can stay for free for a limited time at any of their marinas up and down the country. So sometimes there's definitely some benefits of using the bigger groups at Lux if you're going to go and do a lot of travelling.
And sometimes they also said if it was a week or 2 weeks for free, after that it was still reduced rate, like £10-15 a night.
Yeah, it was a really good rate.
And this is by no means us thinking we're now experts on canals.
No.
This is just the fact that a load of people asked these questions. One thing we noticed was diesel. In our week it cost us about £90, and going past all these marinas and that, it was red diesel on for sale. It was about 70p a litre or thereabouts.
Yeah, between 70 and 80 I figured, some along the canal.
Yeah. Next one is insurance. I was a bit kind of like surprised about this one actually. Again, this is based on living in a marina most of the time, and then what they call leisure cruising. So that's between £150 and £550, and that really comes down to the size of your boat and how much your boat's worth. So that was that one. The next one is based on living on a boat as well, and this is a bit of a funny one, I think, because I think it depends. If you live in a marina that's going to report to the council that you live in the boat in the marina, then you'll pay council tax band day, I think it was.
Yeah, that's the lowest one, isn't it? Yeah,
wherever that region is. If you perhaps don't tell the marina you live aboard, or maybe you choose a little bit of marina, a little bit of canal side living,
or you've just got private mooring somewhere where it's easy to just be there, I suppose.
So you might not pay council tax that way as well.
Yeah.
The next one, it's nothing to do with actually kind of costs or anything like that, and this one was about, I suppose, David and his lifestyle. And I'm going to ask you, because I didn't operate many locks on my own, but do you think somebody could operate those locks on their own if they were on their own in a boat?
And it's just a case of you have to use that the centre line, don't you, if you've got a twin lock to go through to keep your boat to one side. So once you've got the thing, and most of the time those have got two gates, and you can operate the lock just by opening one. So you can open one, and then I don't know how you jump out once you're in there. There's a ladder.
I think that's the line that you take, the centre line. But you struggled with some of the mechanisms as well, didn't you, like the paddles and things like that?
So some of them were a little bit stiff, and apparently they're well known, whichever locks, because when we were talking to people were going, oh yeah, you mean bottom lock at blah blah blah, and oh yeah, it was that one actually, and whatever. So I think there's some that obviously costs a lot of money to maintain all the locks and things, so I'm assuming you have to take it in turns for whichever ones gets
renewed and
gets a good going over.
But I'd say, the little experience I had with locks and everything, I would say you have to be quite fit. So if you are going to do it on your own, get fit. I think the other thing is, I didn't understand this as a cost as well, but there's actually a Canal and River Trust licence.
You saw it, everyone had a little piece of paper in the windows.
There's a number on it.
Yeah, and some of them even had like a little plaque made up that was on the side. I'd have a plaque because it looked really cool.
And that can be between £850 and £1,250 a year. If you want to use the river network as well, that's even more money, and that could be double the price. Because some of the rivers you can take your canal boat on.
Oh, right, okay.
So the Canal and River Trust separate the licence between a canal licence and a river licence.
Right, fair enough.
There's a boat safety check, like an MOT, annual check on that, roughly £100.
Yeah.
Assuming nothing goes wrong.
Yeah.
You've also got a black tank emptying fee, which we didn't know about, even though we knew we had a black tank.
Yeah, but they told us that it would last because there was just the four of us on a 6-berth boat. They said that it would last the full week and we wouldn't need to worry about it. But there was signs at a lot of marinas as we were going past saying that they did black tank emptying, but obviously no cost.
No
so
costs
how much
anyway,
was that
were they? No, so we looked into that as well, and that is roughly £35.
Although saying that, David has got a Thetford cassette toilet in his thing, so you don't necessarily have to have a black tank, but if you do, there's a cost associated with emptying it.
Yeah, and this is part of the Canal and River Trust scheme. They have a key that gets you into toilets and to get fresh water. So you can go to a toilet or empty your cassette toilet and get fresh water as well. Yeah,
because a lot of the water standpipes that we saw canal side were really cool. Some of them were just taps with no security on them at all, and some of them were these very Victorian metalwork, beautiful things with a key that you open and the flap comes down, and then there's a choice of two ways, which I turned the wrong way and got myself wet. It's literally soaked my leg. But hey, I know that now. But yeah, so the Canal and River Trust key that you buy when you get I think you get all your boat stuff and that with it, don't you? And that gives you access to get water and empty your toilets and stuff like that, or access to toilets.
Another question we're asked is about boats sort of breakdown. How reliable are they? And we asked loads of people and they said it's a boat, it's fairly reliable. However, if you were worried about reliability, there is actually a boat equivalent of the RAC.
Yeah.
And it's run by the Canal and River Trust, and it costs you about £250 a year. So that's what obviously we were asked by you guys. I asked David a couple of questions when we were with him, and this is his answer about what he thinks about the cost for living on board. So I'd just like to introduce David. He's from the YouTube channel, rather successful one as well, called Cruising the Cut. And you live aboard your boat full time, don't you?
Have done now for, it's coming up on 6 years. Yeah.
So David's actually part of the little YouTube community that we've got together with a little collaboration with ABC Boat Hire, just to give you guys an idea of what it's like to rent a boat or come on board a narrowboat for the first time. So David's going to do a video from his perspective of what he's seen us do. So if you want to nip over to his channel as well, check his videos out. But yeah, I'd just like to say thanks very much for all the instruction you gave us and the hints and tips on the first day, because they were quite useful as we went along, particularly the oversteer of the boat.
Right, I'm glad it was useful. Yes, glad I was able to convey something useful to you.
So roughly how much does it cost on a monthly basis, David, for living aboard the boat?
Oh, that's a very difficult question to say, because it will vary for every single boater. It depends whether you have a permanent mooring, whether that mooring is in a marina, whether you're a continuous cruiser. If you are a continuous cruiser, do you actually move every day, or do you stay in a mooring for 2 weeks and then move on just a little distance? So that will massively affect your fuel costs and things like that. You've got some basic overheads. There'll be a maintenance fund you need for the boat. Even if you're not spending it every month, you need to allow an amount for maintenance. You've got your annual boat license, which varies depending on the length and width of the boat, but it could be 800, 900, £1,000 per year. You've got your fuel costs, which, as I say, it will vary immensely depending on how much you move. Insurance is surprisingly cheap. £200 or £300 a year probably, and that will include some contents, but if you've got high value items, like most insurance policies, you're going to have to specify those separately. You've got your food, which, you know, food and booze, depends what kind of food and booze you like to drink. Are you a Waitrose person or a Lidl person? It really depends.
So that's David's advice after living aboard his boat for 6 years.
Yep.
Obviously go and watch David's channel for actual in-depth reviews of technical stuff and things of living on a canal system.
Including how to operate a log by yourself, I'm assuming.
I bet there is.
There's got to be something there.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we had a great time with Greg and Lou as well on the boat, didn't we?
Oh God, I think we had more early nights than we have ever had with them. We've always been camping with dead late nights, but we were just all exhausted. Afternoon naps and cups of tea. Cracking.
So do make sure you go and watch our video if you've not watched it already, for our holiday video of a week on a canal boat. And Greg and Lou have also got their version of the same video as well, and David's got his perspective as us newbies renting a boat for the first time.
Yep, so. and his is I found it hilarious. Yeah. It's go watch it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, apparently I'm the Ayrton Senna of the canal network now.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and yeah, I hope we've covered every question that you had left over from the other video, and we'll see you on the next video.
Aye, you will.
See you later, guys.
Bye. Bye. Titanic moment.
Yeah. On top of the world. Never let go, Jack.
Never let go, Jack. So what's next then? Caribbean cruise?
Well, I was thinking, like, you know,
Isle of Wight.
Yeah, Isle of Man, Isle of Wight, yeah.
Yeah.
Try that out.
Cool, I'm up for that.
Yeah?
Yeah.